Hi. You're so handsome. You're so pretty. Sonny.
Where is everybody?
Did you it didn't do the one oh no, somebody's here.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, I
There's
know
a
it was public.
yeah. Hey Amanda. It's Sonny's live. Woohoo! Sonny boy.
He's got some pin feathers to do. Oh, people are
Yeah.
here already. There's Lori, Middleman.
Yeah. Hey Sonny
Say
boy.
hi, Sonny. Are you done talking? Huh? Are you done talking? Yeah? Look at the hats.
Ooh, beautiful crown.
Huge. And he already pooped on me.
Yeah.
That's one thing I don't miss with big birds. I don't know about your birds, but my big birds have never pooped on me.
Buster has a couple times just like he must have really had to go because he normally does not. But the little birds will. Earl will poop anywhere, but I am trying to potty train Earl. It's go. I
Are
mean, he does it. He will go, but not like he'll also just poop wherever. But if I hold him over,
how you
I
trying
take
to
I just take the cube over to the potty or the trash can, and I tell him to go
yeah.
poop, and he's been doing it.
Really?
Yeah, but he also will go on the table, which I put newspapers down. But I because when he does now, I've been telling him like, no, you have to tell me you have to go potty because Earl is smart enough to do. Well, Buster is too, but the little ones, I don't know of any little ones that are potty trained.
I don't either. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't even begin to know how because I don't see it coming on and it's all the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
Whereas the big cockatoos, I'll time it. I'll sit there and say, it's been a while,
Yeah.
and I run them to somewhere. But also I can see their feathers are fluffing up and their tails starting to lift. And I'm like, oh,
Yes.
and I push the
Yeah.
tail down and I run over to the
Mhm.
potty spot.
Now Buster, for me, he will go a bunch of little spots to make me mad because I know he doesn't have to do that. They normal because when he's in like a kennel or something, he holds it until you get him out. So I
And this
know.
is who?
Hmm?
This is who?
Buster.
Same with Bonnie.
But with me, like, and he usually don't do it when Ken's around, but with me, he'll just do these. He'll go to every chair and try to do a little poop just because he knows it frustrates me. And yeah, so I saw on a Facebook post today, somebody said, when your umbrella cockatoo is being ornery, do you think they know it? And I'm
Hi,
like,
Dana.
yeah, yeah, they know it.
Mister knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. And hey,
Yeah.
everybody,
Hi.
it's the Sunny Show.
It's the Sunny Show. It's this is Jennifer Buster, the cockatoo's mom, and I'm Rebecca, Annie's the mom, and this is Sunny.
Hi, Sunny.
See if he'll talk again. Say hello.
Hello, Sunny boy. You're so pretty. You're so
Say hi.
handsome.
Say hi. No? Well, he was talking earlier.
He was. He was
And
singing as
singing.
soon as you brought him in. He was singing. Yeah.
Giant
He's
hat.
so handsome.
Oh well. Looking at his pretty self. Oh, you want back up here? Okay.
Yep.
Is that where Percy stays?
Yeah, most of the time. That's another reason I don't video Percy a whole lot because I don't really like to be on camera. Hey,
Yeah.
Condo. But I would get Percy out, but he's really cranky after 6, like really cranky. And all he kind of does is wants to nip at you. So
Oh.
yeah, mine need their beauty rest. Yeah.
So Buster won't go in his carrier? Because
Mm-mm.
either will Ani. I
Yeah.
mean, He'll
Mhm.
hold it all when we travel with the carrier and we're traveling all night, we have to stop because he will
Yeah,
not go.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Earl will. Earl will go. No, but it's when he's in his aviary and stuff, he doesn't hold it, he goes. So, I mean, he goes in his cage at night. That's another thing, he doesn't go in his cage overnight a whole lot.
really.
So he can hold it a long time, he just doesn't want to because he knows it aggravates me. I'm convinced of that.
I had Tika 100% potty trained. No matter where she
Mm,
was in the house, she was fully flighted. She would fly to, her cage
mhm,
and hang out on the door and poop and then go back to doing what she was doing. If we were at somebody's house, all I would have to do is walk her to the bathroom and hold her over the potty, and she would go there. Ani knows what he's doing, but
mhm.
he just it's
No,
like he refuses to go. Like, if we tell him poop and
mhm,
hold him through, he'll do it, but he'll
mhm.
also do it whenever he wants on top of that.
So Buster, when we first got him, he almost always went to his cage and went because I used to, well, I do it now too. I'd pull his tray a little bit out and he would just always go over to his cage and go. But he did it a couple times and he realized that it aggravated me. Like, and not that I'm mad at him for doing it's not that, but like I would forget to put a piece of newspaper down because he was so good at always going off of his cage. But Ken has been telling him a little bit more like, go use the bathroom in your room. So we'll see if that helps. I doubt
Yeah.
it, but yeah.
Well,
um,
what are you drinking tonight?
oh, I have water.
Water for
Cheers.
the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Cheers. Everybody
I
else,
did
what are you drinking?
I did have part of this earlier, this Calypso. I really like this lemonade. Um,
Oh, really?
yeah. Oh, service dog. Hey, we missed you last time.
Yeah, we were just talking about potty training.
Mm.
You
Somebody
can't potty train
asked.
the sun.
No,
Little birds
I
are too
don't know of
hard to
any little
train.
ones. Yeah. Have
They just
either of
he just
you?
I don't know about Percy, but I swear I think Sonny goes every 10 minutes or less, it
He
seems
doesn't.
like.
Percy doesn't go as much as parakeets do, but he goes a lot more than Earl and Buster do for sure. I mean, it's just tiny. I guess if you collected it all together, it'd be about the same. I don't know,
Yeah.
but he goes more often than they do. So
Yeah, I got wet paper towels for when he
clean up.
poop, and
Yeah. Excuse me.
I'm prepared that this shirt's gonna go in a wash after
Yeah.
this.
They
Yeah.
sell have you seen the little drapes that they sell that
Yeah.
for poops? Yeah, but I usually try and wear I like to wear aprons when I cook and stuff, but I have these ones that I think they're called cobblestone, but anyway, they button up and it's more like a cutoff shirt. It's like a t-shirt with buttons, but you don't have the sleeves.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
usually when I am holding him, I try to wear one of those because I have several of them. So, somebody
When I
asked a
had
question.
parakeets, I got a T-shirt, and I just kinda cut it so it was just a collar bib that I slipped over my head.
Yeah,
Just like you
yeah.
said, parakeets is constant,
Oh, it's nonstop.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just over and over and over. And they're so busy and high, whatever. They're constantly eating. And somebody asked if either of us use a harness or a leg leash. Um, I'm not able to use a harness, but it's something I wish I could do. But I know you put Ani in a harness.
Well, I
Yeah.
think it was easier for me because I got Ani as a baby.
Yeah.
When they're babies, they do anything you ask. They're just so,
Mhm.
what's the word? Just chill and
Yeah.
just, trust you and everything. We tried getting a harness for him, and he just did death rolls, and then when we got him on, he would go flat on the table, and there was just no way we could get him used to it, so we spent all
Mhm.
that money because we got the aviator,
Yeah.
and those are
Those are supposed to
expensive.
be the best. Yeah.
Yeah, because we
Yeah. Sunny
not
bird.
talking, not talking, not talking. Everybody misses
Sorry, I
talking.
keep yawning. I'm sorry.
Oh, I've been doing that all day. How's your weather?
It was, like, really overcast today, and we had some rain, but, it just kinda blah. Even the animals were, like, real chill, until, like, later today. Buster's been doing this thing where he's pretty chill during the day. He might have one little, moment, like today I caught him being funny. All 3 of them were being really funny. And then he was just chill. He played under his cage until Ken got home, and then when Ken got home, he was just being a wacko. So, yeah.
It's been really overcast. Tomorrow, they say some storms. Now, from what I saw on the weather, the Midwest, I think, is getting some storms right now.
Mhm.
Does anybody live where there's storms right now? Be
Amanda's had a
careful.
lot of I'm
I
sorry,
don't
I
know if
keep
they're
yawning.
tornadic or
I've been
not,
up
but
since, like, 4:30. Um, Amanda's been getting a lot of rain in Tennessee, where she's at. Um, I know, and I know I have family and kids in Ohio, and they've been getting a lot of rain. They've been
yeah.
getting just in the last month a ton of rain. Um,
Service dogs, it snowed. She got some snow.
oh, wow.
Yeah,
In
but it
May?
didn't last long. Didn't last long.
Yeah.
Tell us about the snow, service dog.
I don't know where she is. You'll have to tell me sometime, like, off
She's in she's out in the service dog. You wanna say where you are from? I don't know if I
Oh, she
can or
doesn't
not, but
have to, like, yeah.
she's not in Dakota or anywhere, but she's somewhere in the Midwest, I guess you would
Mhm.
call it.
Oh, yesterday, wow.
Colorado,
That's
okay, yeah.
crazy.
It
Oh,
snowed, it
okay.
was so pretty, and then
I bet.
he said it melted.
Yeah, that's
So
great. I mean, when I lived in Ohio, occasionally we would get snow in May. Not very
wow,
often, or freezing weather, I guess. But we've
wow.
had plenty of times where we've gotten snow in April, but not a lot. It usually goes away pretty quick. I know one year we had a big snowstorm in March, which is kind of, normally once you get early March, you're not getting much snow. So
You
yeah,
like making snowmen, service dog Kazana? Make snowmen out there, right?
I love making snowmen. I
Yeah.
don't I don't miss the snow. I mean, it's
No,
pretty. No, I don't. I mean, it's so beautiful, like, at first, but then, when it starts, ugh, it's just such a mess, and, I had 8 kids, so all that, but it was fun when the kids were growing up and they got a snow day, and we went sledding and had hot chocolate and, pizza, and, that's all fun, but man, when you have to drive in it and it's cleaning, and it's melting and that mud, ugh, it's
slush.
just yucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hate the slush,
Yeah, so I don't miss it, but I love I like to see it when my friends share it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful when
isn't
it
it?
comes down. Yeah.
I miss it. Dennis
Mhm.
says the Budgies love making bacon pancakes while dancing. Describe in detail, Dennis, what that is. I saw a
I
thing online. Is that where they tap their feet and eat bacon pancakes, bacon pancakes? Have you
Oh, I
seen
don't
that
know. I
word?
know I know there's a Quaker that
Yeah,
sings and he says bacon pancakes, bacon pancakes. Yeah.
yeah.
But I was saying I thought he meant he wanted bacon and pancakes. Is he really just trying to say macon?
Um, I don't know if it's BACON or baking. I don't
Oh, okay. I took it to be like the food bacon and
I did too.
pancakes.
I did too,
Yeah.
so I'm wondering if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. But it is cute.
Oh, kinda says it's
Making
making bacon
okay. Making
pancakes.
bacon,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, okay. Yeah, I see it. No, it's cute. It's really cute.
Oh, it's
Um,
adorable.
mhm.
Bacon
Yeah, it
pancakes,
is.
bacon pancakes. What?
Sonny could learn how to do that.
He's grouchy because it's see that?
Yes, that's how
Because
Percy
it's like
gets. I
nighttime?
can't. Yeah, I can't. He gets real cranky. He's I don't know if you guys know, like, I don't know what it means. My kids used to always say it, the word yeet. And so when you put
Yeah.
him up to bed at night, he has this bell thing and he starts hitting it very angrily and over. He yells, yeet, yeet, yeet. I mean, I don't know. I didn't teach him that. he but somebody taught him that, but he does that all the time. So he
Do any of
brings
your
over yeah.
birds know tricks? Have you trained them to do that or just doing the potty training?
Yeah, I don't really do I mean, um, no, I'm not much into I did try to get him to kinda, like, do the ring thing and all that, and I haven't had any luck. Buster does what
Me
he
either.
wants to do. Now Buster does like to I don't know if you've seen, like, his skateboard stuff, like,
Huh.
he
Yeah.
likes skateboards, and he will try to kinda, like, ride them. I have a few of them where, I think I called him Tony Cockatoo or Hockatoo or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, Tony Hawk
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, he was trying to, like, ride his skateboard and, um, it was cute.
I've never been able to both Tika just something was not right with her. Goffins are supposed to be so brilliant, and I swear she was a hamburger shy of a Happy Meal. She just never could understand anything I was trying with her, and Ani's too smart, and he can break anything. So you
Mm,
give him a puzzle, even the really expensive bulletproof plastic acrylic ones, and somehow he just instead of going through the steps, he'll just pop it open, break
yeah.
something open as opposed to doing the puzzle.
Now Buster would try to put, like, the little shapes for the little toys with the shapes. He would try and he would get close, but it is kinda difficult, to do that just with your beak, I think, but now Earl, he would just toss them. And I know there's things they say you can teach cockatiels and everything, but I haven't had any kinda luck like that. Um, but I mean, Percy, he just wants the world to sing tequila, and Earl just wants to call people jerks and, you know
And fart.
Yeah, and Buster wants his dad.
Have you been able to teach Percy any words, or did he come saying words?
He came saying words, but he is saying Earl. Um,
Oh,
and
okay, that's new.
so last week I felt like he was trying to do Buster's voice, and then also, one day he was talking in a voice that I'm not familiar with, and it didn't sound like he was trying to mimic someone from here. Um, so it makes me think that he's been in multiple homes and he's just picked up a lot along the way, and those things come back, you know. Like
Yeah,
Earl, sometimes, he'll say things that we say now, but he'll also say things from his past, you know.
yeah,
So I don't know. Um, but I couldn't figure out what he was saying. He was definitely saying words, but I couldn't figure out what he was saying, and it was in a completely different voice that I've never heard him do before, and
that's
I
crazy.
haven't heard him do it since.
Condo said something to you.
Yeah, yes, I teach kin words like read your honeydew list. That's what
Yeah.
I've taught.
One time to show off, because I was showing off, so it served me right. Scott was hanging out with his friends down the street, and he was supposed to be doing stuff with me. It was a Sunday, and I
Mhm.
got mad, so I went down there with the list. I said, "Here's your list. Come on." And you know what he did? He borrowed his friend's lighter and burned it in front of me and everybody else. And then
Well,
he came home with me. So I
oh,
deserved that humiliation. I brought that on. I should have seen that coming.
Ken took the week off last week. Well, he worked Monday and then he took the rest of the week off, and he added a little so we had a screened-in porch now that he's made over the years. Like first he made the deck, then he did a roof, then he screened it in like over a period of 5 years. And then we had this little step off deck out off the screen porch that leads over to Buster's aviary and Earl's aviary. And he wanted to roof that. So he took the week off to roof it. And then he realized how badly we need a new roof on our house. So now
Uh,
we have to
no,
get a new roof
no,
on our house. Yeah.
no.
But he did, but it's just funny, like, oh, he kind of does like staycations.
It was a ghost. I
Uh-oh.
swear they see ghosts. Yes, honey. Here, here,
Then, hey, everybody. I'm sorry if we've missed anybody. Hello.
here. Dennis wanted to know if Ani still has an implant, if it's working, if he's getting another one. And so, for people that don't know, my cockatoo Ani got really hormonal. Male cockatoos sometimes have problems with that, and he got super aggressive. And well, what concerned me is that he would get frustrated, just so angry all the time and frustrated, and he was trying to masturbate all the time. So we got him, went to the University of Tennessee and got him a dyslorelin implant. It's about the size of a piece of rice, and they implant it on the back when they're behind their shoulders. And it's a slow release thing that can last 6 months to a year. Um, and what that does is it suppresses the hormones, so he's not as angry. And so far, this one is lasting about 6 months or more. The first one only lasted 4 months. I was like, "Uh-oh, who's gonna be able to afford
Yeah.
driving back and forth to University of Tennessee, not to mention the stress of him going through getting an implant all the time." But this
Mhm.
one's lasted more than 6 months, so I'm watching for signs. As soon as he shows me a sign, I'm going to back to get one, because even though he's still aggressive, real bad, I like that it made him happier.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I've thought about it with Earl, but when I took him, um, she wanted to try, like, an antidepressant,
Yeah.
and I actually feel like it made him worse.
Mm.
So he has good days and bad days, but he has been stepping up a lot on Ken. Um, and so he's still like he does it a lot more when Ken's around. And he's a grumpy old man. He needs his afternoon nap. Like
Yeah?
on the weekends when we do like table time, we have breakfast, all of us together, and all that. He runs around, especially now where he's all over Ken. Ken's like on double duty with Buster and Earl. And then all of a sudden he just starts making his noises, and it's like it's his way of saying like I need a nap. I need to decompress and get away from you guys. So,
Pika or
um
Goffin always took a nap at 1:30 to two
mm,
o'clock. She'd go under every day, not Ani.
yeah. Yeah.
He'd rather have screen
Yeah.
sessions when he's tired.
Yeah.
What else is on here?
Sonny looks like a little dinosaur. He looks real proper. He's like like he's got his suit on, and he's standing so proper, like at attention. His little head was
Oh
back.
my hand.
I
His
love
hat's so
how
big.
yeah, I love how cockatoos or cockatiels stand. Like they're so like studious.
I wonder what scared him so
Yes, yeah.
bad.
Um
I think there's a ghost. Have your birds ever done that where you're sitting there and all of a sudden they just
so
look at the air?
Buster did a thing one time where he was in his room and he was like really, really frightened in his own room. And even Ken couldn't get him to come out of the room. He just like but he was really afraid in his room. Um, so yeah, I don't know, but um that's the only time really I've ever seen them do anything like that.
Sonny's looking out the window right now. I don't know what he's tracking. Something must have been out there. Come on, Sonny. There.
Yeah,
Not gonna say?
that's how Percy gets, but he just does it over and over, which it doesn't hurt like Buster, but still, it just he gets so frustrated that I just have to put him up. Because I used to try to do some lives in the evening with him, and towards the end, he would just get so, like, cranky about it, so "Sonny boy."
Service dog Kazana, we did have him singing and talking in the beginning, but then he just stopped. So
Mhm.
for the first 5 minutes or so of the episode, he was singing and right up onto the camera and talking. And is Percy fully flighted?
Sometimes, but
Uh-huh.
so right now, like, it was spring, so I had him get a soft clip, because 'cause we're outside a lot, and I got really so recently. So, I mean, I'm working with Bo and he's, but he still sometimes has these little incidents where he'll bust through a doorway. So I'm working really hard with him on like the heel, sit, heel, wait things. And he does it when I tell him, but kind of like if I just happen to open the screen door, sometimes he'll bust in. And
Yeah.
anyhow, he almost knocked Percy's cage over. And I just got really paranoid. Like, what if his door would have opened and the back door was open? These series of events that it would happen to us. And I got really paranoid. So when Buster went, I got him a soft clip. So there
Uh,
are times of the year when I do allow it, but like I said, I got this overwhelming feeling that something was gonna happen, he was gonna get out.
well, a lot of
So,
people, there's a lot in and out of your house.
yes, and there is
So
a lot of in and outs in my house, not just with but with people um,
dogs
and
yeah.
deliveries, there's,
Uh,
5 of us live here, a lot of us get deliveries, and it was I can't explain it, but I mean, I feel like we do have, like, an intuition, and I just ha it was I think I talked to Amanda about I just had this overwhelming sense of and at the particular time, a lot of really, like, I guess you call popular birds on YouTube were lost, got out. Accidents
yeah,
happen,
yeah.
so I got really paranoid and I went ahead. Now Buster, I keep clipped.
And that would
Um,
be a slow, horrible death, I would imagine, because 'cause you're
yeah.
out there in the elements, you don't know how to eat.
Mhm.
There's predators, and
Yeah.
you would starve or get cold or be eaten alive.
And I
So,
feel like I have a
not
chance
pretty.
of predators more often because I have chickens in my backyard. So, like, there's a fox out back sometimes. They can't get to my chickens, but, like, they are attracted more to my yard because I have chickens. The
I see.
hawks, the fox, the raccoons, possum, which I don't know what would go after them, but owls, there's all kinds of owls. So I just got this overwhelming, like, I I got really scared. Now Buster, we have to keep Buster clipped because Lonnie can't fly right. He's never been able to fly right, and he's almost killed himself. And then he when he can even fly up a little bit, he comes after my face. And in fact, he has tried to go after our vet techs. There's one guy especially he'll go after his face.
Mm.
So if he can flight even just a little bit, we it's really unfortunate, but it's the best thing for and he's really unhappy when he's like that because he's in a constant state of aggravation. So it's not healthy for him. So we
Sonny,
do
we have to keep Sonny clipped. As you saw, he spooks, but a lot
yeah,
of times what he does is he slams into the window.
that's what Buster was doing.
So, yeah, so between that and, we found him, he flew into the trash can once. The worst time is he flew into the kitchen and Scott was cooking, and he had taken the pot off the hot burner, and just as he did it, Sonny landed on the red burner. It was scalding red, and I don't know how he wasn't burned, but he wasn't. And,
Mhm.
that was the last I was like, "No, you're gonna be clipped
Yeah.
all the time." But
Yeah.
we've gotten lazy, and he's flying right now. He shouldn't be. He should be clipped.
It's a really difficult decisions. I think that the community often does frown on people who clip.
Yeah,
I'm very respectful, and
badly.
actually, I think that more birds end up not lost when they're clipped, and some of them do hurt themselves. And I know there's birds that free fly and things like that, but I don't live in that situation. I don't live in the middle of the desert, where my animals can free fly but Buster was never able to fly right. And Earl can't fly anywhere but down because of his clubbed feet.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
he had a broken foot way before we ever had him. He came to us that way, but his feet are also clubbed. So when he tries to fly, he just goes straight down like a rocket. Typically once a year I do get him a soft clip. because he'll start trying to fly, and when his wings are full, sometimes he can go a little farther, and he almost, like, kinda runs into things. I'm afraid he'll hurt himself, because they can injure their heads and things really easy by
Yeah,
falling.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've had
Um,
a lot of birds die from hitting our windows
yeah.
outside.
Yep.
Sad.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We, our little parrotlet, that's the only birds I had full flighted is I had 2 parakeets because they just wouldn't fly anyway. They
mhm.
just didn't. They went back and forth from the table where their play area was to the cage, and that was it. But we had a full flighted, little parrotlet, and he lived the best of both worlds in our house, but
Mhm.
he also died young and mysteriously, and we'll still always wonder, did he get into something because he was free flight? Did he
Mhm.
get poisoned? It was either that
Yeah.
or something like a heart attack. We're not sure, but it acted like a poison, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So it
Yep.
wasn't a heart attack, you would pretty much die, right
Mhm.
then that day or something, and this went on for days. So, I don't know, but I'll always wonder, and I don't think I'll ever have a completely free-flighted bird ever
No,
again.
I wouldn't. I mean, you
Yeah.
guys, any of you that have been on my channel or even in my videos or what, I mean, even during my lives, you can hear the cars go by. I live on a very heavily traveled road. I'm still not used to that because that's not how we are used to living. But it would not even be safe for him to free fly around here. There's no way.
Yeah.
But like Amanda said earlier, every household is different and you really have to decide. And you know what? My bird, like Buster gets a lot of steps in. And he flaps his wings plenty of
Yeah.
times. Like it isn't just about the flying, it's about the movement and the flapping. And he does all of those things. He's completely happy, healthy, and safe. So
Yeah.
I have no I you know how I am. I completely speak out proudly that I clip my bird and it's for his own
Well, you
good.
should, because, like you said, the bird community, just the mention of it, people just get really they'll lose their minds,
Oh yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Mhm. I
As
get
you said, though, same people, though, I also see online have lost their birds.
yes. Yeah. And again, I'm
So
not that, again, but for me in my living situation, it would even if Buster could fly correctly, it's not safe for him. Um And Buster is so in love with dogs that he would just fly up to every dog on the planet that he could see. He gets so
mm,
excited when he sees dogs. He loves dogs. And now he gets sassy with our little dogs some, but like our neighbors, like gets so excited when they take their dog out and he's in the aviary and he wants her attention so badly that he would fly right over there and that would not be good. It's a German
yeah.
Shepherd. Um, but I because I always tell 'em, like, "Buster, not every dog likes you," you know? Yeah. But,
I
that's
was gonna tell
what's
if anybody had questions that we missed, type them now because it's hard to talk and, run the podcast and see the chat at the same
yeah.
time.
And
So,
the chat is really small for us where we have to be on our
yeah.
phones. Yeah, it's like
I have a I have a tablet, but then I'd be looking down all the time, so
yeah. Yeah. Um, I think I've asked before, but, like, how is Ani with all your little other critters that you have, like your
we
li
haven't
and
exposed him just because
you
he
haven't
just seems like he'd be aggressive. I know
mhm.
when he was a baby and wasn't, we introduced him to Sonny, and that didn't work out. He couldn't quite get used to him. He always wanted to kinda take a nip at him or something, and it just wasn't worth having an accident where he bite his foot off or something, and that was when Ani was calm and sweet. We
Mhm.
also showed Ani the bearded dragon, and a couple times he sat on the windowsill with him, and they'd both get sun, and then again, Ani started kinda in on him, and that's when he was calm, so we just called it quits, and I can't imagine what he'd be like now. He's pretty territorial. We never showed him a snake because most animals are just naturally scared of snakes.
Don't
So
sure. I must be an animal because
you
I'm
must.
terrified. I can't even look at snakes. I got chased by one as a kid. Amanda's about to type out a question somebody asked that we
Well,
missed. I'm
one of
gonna
these days when we come on, I'm gonna have
No,
my
please
snake
don't.
right there,
Please don't.
right there.
I can't even look at like plastic snakes. Like
That's how I am with
I'm
spiders.
absolutely terrified.
Yeah,
Have
my
you
heart
ever
races. I get
Yeah,
sweaty.
somebody asked, have you ever had an experience when a bird couldn't fly and there were no obvious reasons? I haven't, but I'm sure somebody has. I mean, there are birds that just, aren't able to fly for no reason, I would think. But like for Earl, I'm assuming anyway, it's his beak was really bad when I first got him too, but we have that under control. And I know that affected his balance, but definitely the way his feet are, it's just caused him not to be able to fly. So,
Buttons' mom has budgies and different kinds of parakeets, and she's had a couple that can't. It's always been either because of a birth defect, like their legs are splayed, or because they've come in from such a poor diet
mm,
that, and then but when it's been from nutrition reasons, she usually is able to beef them up. She goes all out, with
mhm,
medicines and going to the vet and natural diets, and she's been able to bring them back so they eventually, even if it takes a year, fly. So I know
mhm.
diet and neglect can make it so they don't fly.
Yeah, yeah. Bless your heart, service dog.
What?
I couldn't She said she used to work at Petco and wrap a bow around her neck. Ugh. So I got chased by a blue racer when I was a girl. I don't even
Oh, they're
remember.
fast.
And my dad says that must be why I'm terrified of snakes. Terrified. Um, oh, your budgie can't fly and he's very healthy. Yeah, I'm sure that I mean that just happens. I don't know that all budgies wanna fly around anyway, do they? Some of them just like to hop about and such,
No, I think they tend to want to fly.
do they? Yeah,
Actually,
I don't
yeah.
have a lot of experience with budgies, but, now I will say this, like, if I'm not getting any more birds, but, like, say I took a bird in or when I take my birds in, or say I took a bird for an emergency until it, went to a rescue or whatever, I would clip them because
Mm,
there's stories where they get lost right after you get them, and they don't know where to go back to because they've been
yeah,
taken from their home.
yeah,
So that's one thing I've always been big on. Even Earl, even though I was told he couldn't fly, when he came, his wings got clipped.
yeah,
And he couldn't fly, but you never know what a bird will do when they're scared. And so that is one thing. That's my rule of thumb. Like if a
yeah.
bird comes here and they're flighted, I will trim their wings right away. So,
That's a good idea. I didn't think of
hmm
that.
yeah, yeah. Well, you never know. He just might one day want to fly, and he just might fly.
Mhm.
But you can always talk to your vet about it. I mean, but I'm sure he's fine.
I have noticed that the littler the birds, it's more tendency they have to wanna fly. I've noticed
Hmm.
that. And
Hmm.
the bigger birds, there's big birds I know that just do not wanna fly, they just want to walk and climb,
Hmm. Well, so
you
that's how
know?
Um, Buster loves to hop and walk and climb and
Same with Bonnie, he doesn't
yeah.
fly, yeah,
Mhm.
unless it's
Yeah.
at my face.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, seriously, he won't
oh,
fly
I know.
anywhere except for if he's free, and if he is flighted, he will fly up at my face.
Mhm.
So, otherwise, at least when he's clipped, he only gets my ankles.
Yeah. Could a bad clipping cause damage? Well, I mean, if they clipped him too close, they could easily bleed. And a bird can bleed to death in what, like a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Um,
center of the feather, the shaft, the
yeah.
closer it gets to the actual wing part,
Mhm.
flesh, there's a vein that goes through it,
Yeah.
bright red
Yeah.
vein. And if you
Yep.
get near that when you clip, like Jennifer said, it
Mhm.
just takes a minute and they can
Yeah.
actually bleed to death if you don't
Mm.
stop it.
You have to
Mhm.
know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
And it is sensitive. I know, I mean, they'll scream, but I
yes.
don't think it
Yeah.
causes any permanent nerve damage. A new one would
No.
grow and
No.
yeah.
But I do know there's feathers though that they can just pull out. So I don't quite understand that. So the clipping part, it must be different. I don't know. But I remember when I first got Buster, somebody that I knew had a cockatoo, and she kept pliers in her emergency kit in case she needed to clip a blood feather. They would
People
like,
told me to. I
yeah,
I can't I don't know if I could pull the feather out.
mm-hmm,
It would just be I don't know if I could do it. I mean, I imagine if I see my bird's getting weak and it's bleeding to death and I can't get to the vet, I'll do whatever it takes, but
right, mm-hmm.
yeah, too scared.
Yeah, we would have to because we're not real close. So we used to have a avian vet very close to us, but unfortunately passed away. So we have a little bit longer of a drive now to see our avian vet. So, and not really everybody can handle Buster doing his beak and things like that. So, yeah,
Actually, I have 2
they
vets,
are.
one that's right around the corner for a life and death emergency, and she'll just clip nails and stuff.
Mhm.
She doesn't do any of the in between anymore. I gotta drive to another vet that's a better avian specialist and has more experience and sees them daily. She is an avian specialist, but she, in her older age, has kinda called it quits on it for the most part,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she's there, like I said, if there's an emergency, or if I
That's
wanna
good.
run and
Mhm.
get nails clipped or something, but anything
I
else, I have another vet.
So they'll still clip and trim, where Buster's avian vet or where their avian vet used to be, but ever since we've been taking Buster, um, to this other one it's about an hour drive, but, not to be mean to the other, but they seem to have a better way of handling Buster, and they get his
Mhm.
nails done better.
Mm.
So we still take him there, but now in between from like Percy last time for his trims, he went when Buster went, but in between, I would take Percy and Earl locally to the lady that does it. And, say I had like an emergency where something happened and they just, we needed like an end of life. I know of that I could call that would handle
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what around the
Yeah.
corner with that vet would be able to
Right.
handle.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I know we don't like to talk about things like that, but those are real life things that, birds can get hit. Um, right. Yeah, thank you, Amanda. That's true.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Um, I don't does cornstarch work with the birds? I mean, I've done that with my dogs on their
I've done it with
toenails.
ferrets. They
But
say,
I
what is it,
don't know.
stipic powder or whatever, but I've
Mhm.
heard that that really burns. So,
Oh.
I don't
Mhm.
know, but I used to use the stipic powder and a clench corn, corn flour or whatever, cornmeal
Mhm.
with the
I mean,
ferrets.
I
I've
have
never
Quick Stop as well, but I
mm,
also on hand cornstarch and flour and stuff also does work in a pinch. Um, but because I actually use a little bit of it's some sort of clay that I use in Max's ears. Max has like the overgrowth of yeast get into his ears, and I have to use something similar to like Quick Stop. So I have that as well. Um, but I mean, what I've always been told is to keep clippers or like pliers, like I was just saying
pliers, yeah, yeah.
for big birds.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
little birds, I don't know. I mean, it just almost seemed like you would just pinch.
Did you wanna
Um,
go back? What are you doing? What are you doing? Give me a kiss.
Percy loves to give kisses. It's
Give
the
me a kiss.
sweetest thing.
He usually goes and shakes his head.
Yeah. Percy just recently started doing a water sound too. When he hears me
Yeah.
turn on the water, he'll make a water, and I don't It's nothing I've taught him, so he just must have. I've never caught it on video yet, though, so.
Sonny, I taught him everything from when he was a baby, and I the tricks he does are when I put a cue to something he was already naturally doing. So
Mhm,
cockatiels a lot of times will stretch their wings. So I
mhm.
made sure every darn time he did it, I would go back bird. And
Yeah,
so now when I say it, he usually throws his wings up.
mhm.
Not at night. He's cranky.
Yeah.
But
That's how Percy is, he gets cranky after 5. He's like,
or
"Girl."
give me a kiss, with something physical.
Mhm. Yeah,
He learned
yeah.
that. I'm trying to think what else.
I may have taught Percy kisses because I don't remember him ever doing kisses until I started giving him kisses and saying that, and he'll make a kissy sound too.
Yeah,
He'll go, yeah. What causes a blood feather? Ugh, I don't know how to explain that. Well, I mean, they're
that's
just
any
a
feather that grows
yeah,
is has as the feather ages, that vein, the blood in it goes away.
yeah.
So, yeah, so any new feathers will have that red blood vein in it, and the older feathers that can fall out will not have it.
Mm.
But it's
Sometimes,
natural
you
occurrence.
can even see them. Oh, hey, Leonie. Sometimes you can even see them,
Yeah.
um, uh, in their feathers, yeah. So, I didn't know how to explain that, so good job. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I almost called him Percy. Sonny. Hi, Sonny boy. Percy would have been so excited, but I don't know. Like I said, he's so grumpy at night that
Yeah.
I don't know how he would have
Yeah, this
acted. But
isn't like him. Usually he plays in the phone
yeah,
and looks at himself and
I would
sings and,
I would really love to do a live with Percy and Sonny sometime though. 'Cause Percy does he gets very, very excited when he sees other birds.
oh, wow.
Um,
How neat.
yeah, that's it. Kay said she wishes hopes that they can get where they can all be out. I actually, to be quite honest, I would trust Buster with Percy more than Earl because Earl
Ah,
can just be unpredictable. Although him and Buster are starting to, I wouldn't call it like a bond, but they have come to the conclusion that they both love Ken and it's okay for them to be close to kin at the same time, which is a good step. That's a big step. That's good. But as far Percy's just so little, it just frightens me. Now I have seen a parakeet with an African gray, but that African gray was really sweet. Earl's
yeah.
not always very sweet.
Well, African Greys, don't they tend to be a little aloof and independent?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so I don't know, but I would love for that to happen as well. But so one of the things we were doing last week when Kim was on vacation, Percy was having outside of his cage time in the big I call it the big boy room, Buster and it's his nighttime room too, with that door up that Ken built. And
Yeah.
then Earl could be in the play area and then Buster was outside in the aviary. So everybody was kinda out and about doing things, you know what I mean, and
Mhm.
taking turns with giving attention to all of them, because it is a different look here when Ken is home. Um, so anyway, yeah.
I noticed that, Sonny, as he got older, slowed d first he stopped learning words, no matter how hard I'd try. I'd even put something on a loop on the computer to where it would repeat something as easy as "uh-oh," and he
Mhm,
just stopped picking up words, and then now in the last few years, he's 20 now or 21. The last several years now, he has slowed down his talking
mhm,
a
yeah.
lot, so I miss it.
See, I think that Percy is older than what they said. I told you about that with his band, but he
Yeah.
is still learning new phrases and he still does talk a lot. Um, so you guys wanna see my big baby? Come here.
Bobo!
It is my big baby Bobo. Hey, Bobo. He's pouting because we walked him and Max tonight, so they're both very, very pouty.
Ah,
Yeah, they act like we was wore them poor babies out.
do those big doodles get in bed with you?
Yeah, they do.
Nuh-uh.
Max doesn't like he used to. Max is older. I don't know if you can hear Max. He groans when he lays down and when he gets up now. It sounds like he's talking. It's really funny. But Max will get on me. Here, get down, Bobo. Come here, Mackie. Come here, Mackie boy. Let Max have a turn, jealous boy. Come here. Come here. I don't know if he can climb up on me. Max is like 50 pounds heavier than Bobo.
Oh,
Yeah. Come here, big
wow.
guy. Yeah, you ought to groom him. I groom him. He can't hardly do it. Can you see him though?
Whoa, that's
That's
a
my
big dog.
Yeah, that's my boy.
See, if I do
He's
this, I
mhm.
can see him better.
He's my standard poodle, Newfoundland. He's a Newfoundland standard poodle. So
I
he's a
know.
sweetheart. Oh, really? Is he joking?
He's joking,
I was
Jennifer.
gonna say I've never heard of that. Um, yeah, Max is my big boy. Max was tied to a tree, and all he could do was run in a circle on the tree, and he was like half his body weight. And it took me a year to teach him how to walk in a straight line. And still to this day, when he gets nervous, he does this thing with his feet and he starts going in a circle
How
because
did
that
he,
like
how'd you come upon him?
uh, the same friend that introduced us to Max introduced us to Bobo. I had a friend contact me and she said, "There's this dog." And
Things always
the
start out like that, doesn't it? I'll
yeah,
get a call. There's this bird. There's this
yeah,
ferret.
I
No.
get that sometimes
Oh
too.
God.
And she said, "Would you at least go look at him?" And because I oftentimes back in Ohio when we had our big house, I would take in a dog, like not assess it or whatever, get it neutered through our humane society where it was like discounted, get them their shots, get them trained, and then find them a home with somebody that I knew. We
Mhm.
did that a lot. So I went out and looked at him. I didn't know he was as thin as he was, but you could tell he was really sweet. But he had hurt a cat and he basically just got tied to a tree where, like I said, they had it in a way where he could go around like a, I don't know what you call that, but when I got him home and got him shaved down because he was a matty mess, like I have pictures of 'em, I'll have to show you sometime. You'll have to show service dog even. It was
Mhm.
you could count every rib. His backbones were sticking out,
Oh,
protruded, like, he was a mess. He was in really bad shape. Um, so he's been a really sweet dog. And then, kinda the same with Bobo. He was born by mistake with 13 dogs. She had kept 3 of them, ended up getting divorced. He was living in a barn. She fed him a 50-pound bag. I think there were 4 dogs living in the barn. She once a week, she threw in a 50-pound bag of Old Roy, and then they gave him, we call it slop, but leftovers. Then they got
mhm.
leftovers on other days. And so, he wasn't as thin or abused as Max was, but he definitely had been neglected and wasn't really fed well. So, what did Condo say now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Condo. Oh, just the same thing. I
Roll
see.
back.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I've always been told like you cannot tell how they can. There's not a blood test. There's not any kind of test where
Yeah,
you can find out.
yeah.
Um, Max. How old they are is what I've always been told. Because I
How
wish
do
that
they
there
tell how old
was.
a dog is? Do they look at teeth, nails? What do they look at?
I think
Or can't they?
yeah, I think they can look at teeth because I know my vet, the one time my buddy, he was trying to tell me he was younger than he was, and I was like, "I know for a fact he's not that young because we've had him." longer than that. So there was like no way. Horses, you can really tell by their teeth because I
Uh,
was raised around horses, and that's how. I mean, it's not precise, but you at least know within the year or so.
wow.
Yeah, and I used to be really good at that actually, aging horses, like, by just because of their teeth, but,
Yeah. Birds, you
um
can't tell.
mm-mm.
Ferrets, you can tell through teeth. Their teeth kind of get translucent a
Mhm.
little bit. Um,
Max.
they're not all white, and solid and everything.
Mhm.
Sometimes they're worn. Their nails too. They're not like skinny and sharp. They get flat
Mhm.
and the they get longer. Like I guess the quick keeps growing, growing, even though you cut it down and everything. So, but their nails get really flat
Mhm.
and real wide.
I meant to tell you, I was thrifting and somebody was in there with an albino, um, ferret, and because I
Where?
thought of you. Yeah,
Where was
it
that?
was cute. At the SPCA thrift store.
Ah, really?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, because they actually ask me sometimes, like, I'll talk to them about my birds, they'll be like, "Can you bring them in?" And I said, "Well, Buster would have to be in his little kennel, but, I could take Percy." Earl would probably scream a lot just because of I think it would overwhelm him, but I might try Earl sometime. I might take Earl and Percy, that might work good. But, yeah, but they take a lot of animals in there, um, so but, yeah.
I'm looking to see if there's any questions. Again, I'm looking now, so if you have any questions, and a lot of people said happy 10th birthday to Ani. Thank you so
That's
much.
right, his is that when is his birthday?
May the 5th.
May the 5th, okay,
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo.
that okay, see, my grandpug, she was born on Cinco de Mayo, and
Oh, yeah?
her name was Meemaw. She's been gone a few years now, but we used to call her Cinco de Meemaw.
I like that.
So it's always kind of sad now because we miss Meemaw so much. She was an awesome pug. That's I couldn't remember if it was the 5th or the 10th, but I think he turned 11, right?
He turned 10. Ani did.
10. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Maybe.
told that cockatoos I was told all these years, I'm like waiting, waiting, waiting. I was told that a lot of them, if they're gonna calm down, they'll do it by or around 10, and it's just not gonna happen with him. This is his
Mm,
personality. So,
yeah.
that dream is gone.
Yeah. Aw.
He just is who he is.
Yeah. Max, you big baby.
I can't believe they sleep in the bed with you.
Max doesn't anymore, really, because he's so big, that he can't really climb up there. Now, we a lot of times, 'cause, we'll help him get up on the bed and let him lay there for a while, but this new bed that we have, there really isn't as much room. But we had, like, a California king when we first moved
I was
here,
gonna say, is there room for Ken?
and yeah, and there was, like, 4 of the dogs would sleep with us. But sometimes they get up and down, but it's funny because Bobo is really close to me, but he sleeps on with Ken at bedtime. But
Hmm.
Ken is closer to the fan, and Bobo loves a fan.
Uh,
Yeah, so
yeah,
oh, yeah. Bobo's done his canine citizen. He's got that certification, or the good citizen test, I'm sorry.
I'm looking at what
Um,
service Kazana just wrote. It's pretty cool.
that's what I was reading, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm going to do more down the road. Um, yes, thank you both, you guys. You guys did awesome. Um,
Good
I'm going to
citizen.
do more of that down the road, and she wants me to do the advanced training with them, but, like, I feel like I'm still working on it because standard poodles are stubborn,
Yeah,
and
I didn't
I'm
know that.
still having issues with him with the doorway thing where he'll bust through a door. So I want to have that well under control before I go on to our next training, because I feel like it's a really big deal. And he still chases squirrels sometimes, but he does have good his recall is much better than when I first got him, and he can hop a fence.
Hmm.
So, yeah, he's still, I mean, he's 4, but he's like a puppy. So, actually, I've had Bobo a year today. I'm sorry, is it a year
Oh, that's
or
it?
2?
Oh my god.
I might be 2 years. Oh gosh. Time just gets away from you, you know? It really does. But I got him this month. I think
Sonny,
it's
you're
just
not gonna
been,
look in there before we go?
yeah,
Yeah, you're
sunny.
not gonna say goodbye before we go? No? He wants to go to bed.
Yeah. So
He
2
definitely wants to
weeks
go to
will be,
your
you need a
channel.
new shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. We like squirrels. They're good. Condo.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what
Great.
Ani would do with a squirrel. "Bad squirrel," he says all the time.
Mhm.
"Bad squirrel."
Yeah.
Well,
But, yeah, we'll see you
cheers.
guys in 2 weeks. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers
See you in
to
2 weeks at
hydration.
Jen's.
Yes, we'll see you then. Bye, Rebecca. Bye, everybody.
Bye.